Oh, crap. So none of you could hear me. So what was I saying? So let me restart that. So let's go back. So firstly, no flux. We're not soldering. So the first thing you can see here is that when I ran my test, the Hall sensors were fine. So there's 5 Halls here. There's 5 different Hall sensor wires, and it's pretty much measuring exactly what it's supposed to. This is what I get on my other ones. So this is really doing what it's supposed to. I'm actually surprised that there's all those different Hall sensors. I'm actually kind of curious if that's if there's a missing. What is Hall 0 and Hall 7 supposed to be? I don't think there's supposed to be that many halls. And also, the thing is, it's able... So the results that I got, I believe this is what a phase runner with a BBSHD is supposed to be giving. And also, I noticed that I'm able to run the motor slow, I'm able to run the motor medium, and I'm able to run it fast. So there's no issues with start, even if I try to start it and run it, increase the throttle really slowly. So I don't think that the problem that I'm having has anything to do with the actual motor core, because it passes its Hall sensor test, it's able to run, and it's just I think the problem may be hiding somewhere inside of the housing of the motor. So I'm going to check out the housing and try and open it, but the problem is it has a Phillips screw that doesn't want to open for any at all. It's like not even not budging at all. So I'm going to find a big Phillips screwdriver, unlike that tiny Phillips that I have there, or maybe a drill even. Make my life easier. I don't think I have a giant Phillips head here. It doesn't look like I have a giant Phillips screwdriver there. So if I don't find it here, I'm just going to go for the drill. I am going to go for broke and go for the drill. And we'll see what happens there. Okay, so I got a bigger Phillips head here. I don't know if this is going to do it. Also, there's a... Alright, so let's see. Yeah, this is not even close to... Oh my god. Well, the first problem is the harder I push here, it goes at an angle. So that's... So I kind of got to push with both arms here. Yeah, it's not even close to moving. That is stuck. That is not going anywhere. Try clockwise. What kind of crew? What kind of madman would do that? That is not moving anywhere. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. That's crazy. That is stuck as can be. Do you need a fatter screwdriver? I don't know if I need a fatter screwdriver. I just need like a... I need something that I put on the... I need a wrench to go on the screwdriver to do this with. Let's do something crazy. I'm going to do something that's just effing crazy. Out of this world nuts. When in doubt, grab a power tool that you're not fully aware of how to use. The power tool will always fix your problem. Much power tool. Much power tool. Try heating it up. Freeze and it'll get smaller. Freeze it. Well, I can heat it. I can't freeze it. I'm not Mr. Freeze. I have a hot air station, but I don't have a... Yeah, I'm not Mr. Freeze, so I don't know how the fuck you expect me to freeze it. But okay, those are drill bits. No. Where a normal screwdriver. Don't strip it. No shit. Okay. Use your hot air station to warm up the casing. What temperature? I'll start with 200 C. Yeah, fuck that. I'm not going to strip the screw. That's not coming out of there. Okay, where was I before? Before I got distracted, I was here. No, you're not it. That could be what's happening, Aether. Paul, remember that motor that I said was making that squeaky noise? I have two of them now, so I'm opening up the one that I had sitting in the office. So this is the motor that does that squeaky thing where it goes, and then it goes. So sometimes it works and sometimes it stalls. Now, the thing, I tried the motor core by itself, and the Hall, it not only does it spins fine, it starts up fine, it never stalls, and it even passed the Hall sensor test. So all the Hall sensors work. So I'm trying to see if there's anything inside the housing that's messed up. So I opened up this this thing over here, and I took apart. I got this thing open with the bearings, and this over here looked fine. I was trying to see if I could find some rusty-looking thing, some corroded-looking thing, because I thought maybe if something looks obviously rusted or corroded, that would explain it. This is, like, you know, the clutch appears to be working fine because it spins forward, and then when it goes backwards, it's allowing it to continue. This can continue spinning even when that's not going. So the clutch. So I'm wondering if there's something funny going on in here, but I can't open it because that screw is impossible to open. So I'm just gonna kind of heat this up and see what happens. I'm gonna give it maybe 40 seconds of heat. I could be getting trolled hardcore. It's very possible that the person telling me to heat this is just trolling the shit out of me. This is a YouTube chat. One of the sealed bearings is rusted. Yeah, which bearing, though? You mean in this or in this? So in the thing that's on my right that I'm pointing to? Or the piece over here? Because I know what this has to do with rust, because this happened after a terrible storm, and that's not a coincidence. Wait, that's a fucking flathead. No, not gonna risk it. Let's see. Let's see, will this do it? So I'm going to push down all my weight on this and on this. Whoa. All right. There we go. Nice and easy breezy. And the next one. I'm going to push down all my weight on both this and this. All my weight. And bam. That was much harder than I thought it would be. Yeah, the drill's on all the way too. Okay, next up, third screw. Okay, make sure it's seated in there. Push down all the way. A little bit more. Damn. That really didn't want to work at anything but max drill. Okay. And the screw's out. For all of you who said the screws are going to be stripped, gargle my balls. And that's that. Okay. Now, put the bit back, because if I don't put the bit back the moment after I use it, it's going to be gone. It'll be gone. So we're just going to put this back here, because if it's not back, it will disappear. That immediately goes back in the fucking bag that it came from. Now, we're going to remove this little thingamajiggy over here. See what's under it. How does this thing come out? You do this. You pop you out like this. Yeah, the heat didn't make any difference there. It was really just getting the right drill bit and using the drill. Okay, so now what I gotta do is figure out how to make this piece come off. This is where the flathead will come in handy. Holla. You have to pull from both sides at the same time. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, like this. Man, we got two royalty Pauls in the chat tonight. There were some rocks inside of this grease. I wonder if that's what was doing it. I saw 2 white pellets in there. Okay. So this is pressed into the bearing. So to get this out, Um, tap. Let's see this. Nah, I've seen Paul pop this thing out with a screwdriver or something. So this piece of shit, let's see, moves back and forth. You really do have to pick this up like this. How do you get under there? Let's see. How does this thing get out of here? It has to be lifted perfectly straight up. Because it's wrapped around this. Oh! Ooh! That's progress. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to keep it straight, so I'm kind of pushing it down and up at the same time. Ooh, I made progress. Man, I don't see why Paul doesn't want to be a mechanic again. This is fun. I don't know if any of you heard the announcement. I haven't uploaded the video yet, but when the Apple car comes out, I'm going to buy a garage, and Paul's going to be finding PM Sleep S4L in the Apple car. That's going to be his new position here at Rossman Repair. So he's got two choices. Behind door number 1, he can get really good at the PC3000 so that he could help Steve catch up on his 98 data recoveries and his status. Or behind door number 2, he can become an Apple car mechanic. So he gets to work on electric cars, which is one of his favorite. Paul really likes working on luxury brand cars. Like one of his favorite things to do. I don't know if you've heard it. He has a channel, by the way. You can check him out. Paul S. He's in the chat. He has his own YouTube channel you should subscribe to. One of his favorite things to do is work on luxury cars, like Mercedes, BMW, particularly high-end German automobiles. He finds them to be constructed in a manner that just makes his life easier as a mechanic. But one of the things that I'm sure he's going to be excited about is working on new processors with the ARM architecture and all that, and combining that, working on a luxury electric car. So you got electric car, you got luxury, and you got Apple. You got the three things that Paul S. is pretty much an expert at. You combine his experience as a mechanic. I'm serious. I don't know someone who is better, more fit or qualified to work on an Apple car than Paul. Think about it. He's got the years of Apple product electronics repair experience. He's got 20 plus years of experience as a professional, experienced mechanic, and he works on his own cars. He can reball chips. Like, how many mechanics can reball .25 millimeter balls and find PM Sleep S4L? His entire life has been spent preparing for this position. He's probably on fucking monster.com right now. Let me get the hell out of here. Surely there's someplace else. Yeah. Paul's opening an incognito tab from monster.com right now. Anyway, so So I can lift this thing up a little bit, but it really just doesn't want to come out. And I'm thinking that the thing to do is to just keep doing it, and I'll make a little bit of progress, and eventually this will pop out. Use the screws to pull on it. I would, but the screws screw into the housing, not into this piece. That's the thing. Yeah, the screws don't screw into this plate. They screw into the housing. Everybody, by the way, check out Paul S.'s channel in the chat. He just linked to it. He's going to start posting awesome material there at some point. You don't want to miss out on any of the Paul content. That's where we're going to be posting all of Paul's Apple car repairs. I think I get why Paul was open to retiring from being a mechanic. I can see how this is kind of aggravating. Try rotating shaft while pulling it. Rotating shaft while pulling it. This thing, you mean? Yeah, this. Huh, all right, so I'll rotate the gear. Ow! Oh, that screwdriver fell and hit me right in the dick. Oh, God, that hurt. Oh, that was the worst spot because it like bounced off of the dick and went to that part below the balls where it's really soft. Oh man, that was horrible. There are screw holes in that plate that are for pulling it out. We don't have the correct screws. Yeah, I see screw holes in the plate for pulling it out, but we don't have those screws. Damn. You, maybe? Whoa-ho! Hello! I got you. Okay, I got one screw. Paul, the screws for the other parts of the casing fit in there. Okay, not this one. Only one of them, it seems, fit there. Maybe two. Am I lucky? Do I have two? All right, I got two. Let's see what happens if I pull now. Okay, cool. Paul, the screws from the motor housing actually fit in there. Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you very much. Paul, you see, check it out. Look, it comes out. So these are the screws that hold, I forget if these are the screws for the controller. No, these are the screws that hold the motor core into the housing. Yeah, these are the screws, I believe, that hold the motor core into the motor housing. And they actually fit into this plate so that I could remove that. All right, now that's the nylon gear, and there's a little ring on the nylon gear. So you see this little ring? Now there's a special tool that you're supposed to be using to remove that, and I forget what the tool is. I don't know if I have that. So I'm going to try to use the tweezer. So what you do is it's kind of like the reverse of pliers. It's like the opposite of pliers. But yeah, tweezers are definitely not strong enough for this. Yeah, the tweezer's not going to do shit there. So I have to find this little thingy. I don't know if I still have it. It's like the opposite of pliers. Like you put it in there and you push, and then it pushes the stuff outwards. It's a strange, funky little... It's like the anti-plier. I don't know what you call that thing. You know, here, this is going to sound really stupid, but I don't care. One of the hardest things when I was getting started and doing this stuff as a business is knowing what it is you'd like or what you need, but not knowing what it is. Because you can't Google something if you don't know what it is. So, for instance, right now I'm saying the thingy that works like pliers, but the opposite. If I were to Google that, what the fuck would I find? Probably nothing. Like, I would never find the name of that tool. You need to be able to ask someone who works in the business and they'll go, oh, you moron, you're so dumb. What you're looking for is X. And then you get X. But one of the things that sucked about starting in this business was that there's no fucking guides online or anything. So you're really just stuck trying all the shit that is in front of you and trying a bunch of crap that doesn't work until you find out what does work. And yeah, I had no idea what that thing was called. It's I still don't know what that thing's called. I know it when I see it. We have a lens cover for an old Sony camera lens in the toolbox here. That's hysterical. Oh, this poor little toolbox. This toolbox actually has everything but the little squeezy thingy. Uh-oh. This may be where I have to call it quits. This is where the internet is a great thing. And if you wanted to find out what that is, you wouldn't go on the internet and ask for it, because if you did, you get the wrong answer. What you would do, the correct thing to do if you want to get an answer to a question like that, is you try to do the fix using the wrong tool, and you tell people this is the right way to do it. And then a bunch of people will come along and call you a moron and say, this is what you get, you idiot. And then you go, okay, yeah, tell me more. And then they'll actually tell you how to do it. You shouldn't try to get advice from people by asking the question, because it'll never work. Like, everybody will just kind of laugh at how stupid you are. But if you say, here's the right way to do X, and you do it wrong, you'll get a detailed list of specifically every single thing that you need. You just pretend that the condescending stuff wasn't there. It's just for those of you who are curious about how to get proper advice on the internet. It's it's a method that it's tried and true. Again, never ask the question that you want answered. Just pretend that you already have the answer. I found that that works particularly well when it comes to Linux, especially in IRC. If you're having a particular issue, just tell someone this is the best way to do X, and they'll tell you how you're wrong, and you'll get your answer. It's pretty. Especially with Linux. Like, that's been true for over 12 years. Snap ring pliers. Why is someone yelling an L, you fuck? Oh, because an L yelled Paul, you fuck. Alright, I'll go back to the toolbox and look for them. This is a spare motor that I have, so I have replaced one of them, and I never troubleshooted the old one, or troubleshot it, but it has the exact same issues, so I figure I should. Alright, I should probably... This toolbox is scary. Should I show this toolbox on camera? It's kind of embarrassing. Yeah, I'll show the toolbox on camera. This toolbox is one fucked up ass toolbox. This thing is head. I have a horrendous toolbox here. Yeah, then you wouldn't be able to see my horrific toolbox. I have the garbage pail right by over here, so I'm just going to toss all this shit off at the desk. Use a straight pick on one hole. I don't know what I don't have a straight pick. You're bringing up a solution that will require going through the clusterfuck toolbox anyway. It would require that I purchase something or find something. Alright, what's in here? What a fucking mess. What is this? Okay, that's a clamp. That's a clamp. That's a clamp. That's a lens cap. Duct tape. This is, holds my life together. This is subfloor. Oh god, this makes me think of Eugene. Can I throw this away, Paul? When I look at this, I think of Eugene. Some screwdriver without bits. Circumcision tool. Dirty glove. A bunch of blades. A thingy. Clamp. Metal shapes. Precision metals. That's a strange thing. I remember when I used to use these to remove the screen bezels from MacBook Airs back in the day. That was a thing. Laser level. Random piece of plastic. Allen keys. Shitty 2.5 millimeter flathead screwdriver. Allen key thingamajiggy, that's kind of useful. A plastic Cat 5 cutout. A wrench. electrical tape, and staples. All right. Let's go to the next level of the toolbox. I probably do. Criminal-minded. Okay. A bunch of shit for putting stuff in the wall. Connects kit? Oh, no. Anchors. A wheel to a chair. A Dremel with a broken bit. Bigger adult circumcision tools. Wow. That's some good circumcision tool right here. That's a circumcision tool. Anchors. Drill bit. This is screws. Nuts. Scrapey thingy. Alright, so we don't have the red handle pliers in the top. I already went through the top, that's empty. So, this is the top. We have at the top are... Really should get a fresh toolbox. This thing has been so sodomized and... No. Flooring crap. Clamp. Weird wrench. Adult circumcision tool. We have a lot of adult circumcision tools in here. Nerf dart. Always need your Nerf darts. Adult castration tool. Adult circumcision tool. Employee compliance tool. Red handle pliers in the top part under the clamps. Oh, this is a hidden section. Yo, there's a hidden section in here. What? The top part under the clamps. All right, and this piece of I didn't even notice this thing. What a cheat code right here. Wait, no, that's just random crap. You're looking at these, Paul. This isn't it. No, this looks like it. You're getting tricked. I know what those are because I remember I saw you use them once. You don't have micro needle nose pliers somewhere. Dude, I fix motherboards. I make BBSHD 3 hot, go from 8.1 volts to 8.5. But your expectations are too high. I revive PP buses. This is outside of my scope of work. Let's see, could you be hiding over here? No. Maybe in this box. This is where a shitty old motor housing is. No. Okay. Wow. Erica stole them. I found them in the Erica section, Paul. They were in the Erica section. Not mad, I'm just disappointed is all. Erica. They were in the Erica section. Okay. This is it. So check it out. You put them in. This thingy is like a reverse plier. So you put them in, and then you push, and then it does what you'd think a plier would do, but in the opposite direction. It's crazy like that. All right, so that allows you, once you've taken this little piece out, you don't want to lose this. This thing will be gone in an instant. You put that separately, and now I'm going to take the ring out. So everybody just tell Erica that we're not angry at her for stealing the tool. We're just disappointed in her is all. Not anger. You know, there's no reason to get angry. We're just disappointed. Just disappointed. Okay, so now once you do that, I have to figure out how to make this thing come out. So when this turns. But how does this thing come out? Do you just like... Yeah, I got a lot of tools that I probably should buy. So... How can I simp for Erica? I've got money to burn. She doesn't have a method of simping. Yeah, she has self-respect, which is more than I can say for myself. I have a Streamlabs link. I don't have self-respect. She does. But let's see. The whole clip doesn't usually come out all at once. That's got to come out this way. Gear puller. You're asking way too much of a freaking MacBook repair shop. All right, so when this turns, that turns. How the fuck does that thing come out? You need to press the center out first. This is the part that Paul usually takes out. I wonder how Paul usually gets this thing out of here. Let's see. That's nylon. I don't want to fuck that up with... Tap on the outer gear with a hammer. I don't have a hammer. I don't think I have a hammer. I have a screwdriver. Stop complaining about the gasket. Also, separate pieces. The plastic gear just comes up. It does. Hold the plastic gear as you turn the small gear. Interesting. Yeah, it does only turn one way. Hold the plastic gear. Which is the plastic gear? That's nylon. This is I don't know gear. So this is I don't know, and this is nylon. Let's see. Hold the plastic gear as you turn the small gear. So this is the small gear. Okay, so this has to be the plastic one. I think you're calling the nylon plastic because there's only one small gear. That's smaller than this one. So this is Hold the plastic gear as you turn the small gear. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, now I can get this shit out of here. Aha! Okay, get the fuck out of here, you bitch. Okay, now if there's nothing broken in there, I'm gonna be... God damn it! There's nothing broken in here! This makes no sense! Look at this! This nylon gear is beautiful! There's nothing wrong with it! There's not a single trace on this nylon gear that has even the tiniest breaking point. There's no debris in here, there's no rust in here. Is it maybe the gear, the thingy inside it? Or am I... Actually, wait, how does this thing spin? I'm curious. Let me see. So this... Let me see, wait a second. How does this get this to spin if there's no, like, there's no teeth on here? So check this out. Yeah, maybe I can learn something while I'm at it. There's no point to gloves because the gloves just keep breaking. Wearing gloves here is kind of stupid. These gloves break real easy. So here's the weird thing. So I'm kind of curious as to how this works. I'm probably going to learn something about a motor tonight. So how does this spin the nylon gear when there's no teeth? So see this? There's no teeth. This is a totally flat surface. So how is this spinning that? That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Like on here, there's some ridges on the inside of here. See the ridges? See the ridges? But there's no ridges on this shit. So how the hell does this spin that? I'm confused as hell. One-way clutch bearing. How does this even spin this, Paul? That's crazy. How does this, like, there's no gear. It's just, it's not attached. It's a what? Might be the bearings in the shaft under that second snap ring. There's another snap ring, isn't there? Yes, there is. All right, we're going to dig. Anyway, that's a random question I'm not going to get answered. Let me put a new set of gloves on because this is kind of stupid. I'm going to clean this finger. Man. You know, for all the playing with cock I was doing tonight, for some reason my finger is the thing that's all kind of dirty now. Anyway. I'm going to clean off my finger, put on a better set of gloves. One thing that's nice about the Cyclone motor is that most of this shit is on the outside of the motor instead of the inside, so if you want to service it, it's all easy to get to. And here, this is a freaking mess. It's also kind of sad. I've actually had this happen to some BBSHDs where I never messed with the stock controller. It's not really that liquid proof, but the thing is I haven't really found yet what is actually broken. I can't really be sure of what the problem is just yet. All right, let's get a different set of gloves. Got rid of the random shit that was on my finger. AV has a good video on one-way bearings. I'll check it out. This way I'll learn. I gotta learn a lot about this. I'm a total noob here. I'm no Apple car mechanic. But soon. See, the thing is, I can't manage a business of Apple car mechanics if I don't know how to fix an Apple car. The thing is, I can somewhat manage a business and have an idea what's going on with a board repair business because I do board repair. So I fix MacBooks, so I can tell. But if I'm going to manage, a business of, 12 or 20 Apple car technicians, then I'm going to have to learn mechanics. All right. So there's a lock ring under there. If there's a bearing inside this nylon gear, how would I tell if it's actually good or not? How does this thing... So this is, Paul said this is a one-way bearing of some sort. So like, how does this thing work? So this is the gear. Nothing is spinning in there really. I don't get it. Does this look right in the inside? Okay. Next step. Let's get rid of this little lock ring over here. This one's kind of harder because you're covering your light by getting in there. Okay, so this lock ring comes off next. Now what? Whoa, and then this thing pops out. Okay. So this is, I don't know what you call this thing. I don't know what this thing is called, but it's a spinning gear thing, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't look rusty to me, you know. I'm probably missing something because when people start getting into this business, they really miss obvious signs of corrosion that I notice immediately over there. And here, it's possible I'm missing something that's really obvious, but I don't see what's wrong here. I saw some bits of shit, so here, let me show you. Can you guys tell me if I put something under the microscope, if this is significant or not? I pushed away a couple of pieces of what looked like debris, and I'm kind of curious if that kind of stuff would interfere. So I'm going to put it under the microscope, and if you could be, because there's one piece left that I haven't gotten yet, and I'm just kind of curious if it's the type of thing that would contribute. So see this? There were some pieces like this that were there, and they were bigger than this, and I saw them there before. And I'm curious, like, would something like this keep this from working? Like, are pieces of dirt and grime like this, would that keep it from working properly? Would that cause the noises that I was hearing where it would try to start up and then it would stall? Because I saw that. I saw some pieces that were considerably bigger than that, and I got rid of them, and I probably should have put them on camera, but I'm a moron, so I didn't. So I know the grease should be there. The grease should be there, but what I'm thinking of doing, I'm thinking of cleaning this off and then reapplying the grease just to make sure that there's no crap in between there. Because I think there may be little pieces of crap or, you know, fucked up metal and plastic and shit that's kind of broken in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this back together after I Q-tip that out. So I'm going to clean that out so I don't see any of that junk in it anymore. And then I'm probably going to have to put some new grease. No, that was before I set it on my desk, Blue Dog, but good observation. That was before I set it on my desk that was there. So before I actually had it out of the casing and all that, and I had a bunch of shit there. So I'm going to try and get rid of this crap. And then what I'll do is I will lithium it if I have some lithium here. I have lithium here. I hate the smell of lithium grease though. Spray with cleaner and re-grease. I have alcohol and I have Branson EC. Can I Branson EC this? If I Branson EC this, will that like fuck everything up or no? Okay. Would this be a like Branson EC electronics cleaner? How would that do? So when it comes to cleaner, I have alcohol, I have Branson, and I have water. I'm going to go through each one. And also, I think I forget which way I put this thing in. Oh, shit. That's kind of stupid. Yep, I forgot which way I put the gear in. I guess that's what rewinding the stream is for. Calm down, Alexander. Calm down, man. I did a lot of annoying end-of-year bookkeeping, and then I took a nap. So I'm very well rested. Okay, so we do this. End-of-year bookkeeping sucks. Moly grease, not lithium. I have lithium grease. Yeah, so I have lithium grease. I have lithium grease and I have flux. Lithium grease, flux, or solder paste. What should I use? So we have lithium grease, flux, and solder paste. Merry Christmas, Donald. Okay, we got a vote for flux. We have a vote for lithium. We have a vote for flux. We have a vote for solder paste. We have a vote for lithium. We have a vote for lithium. Another vote for lithium. Okay, lithium grease seems to be the winner of this situation here. All right, lithium grease it is, my friend. I was kind of hoping the flux would win. I can't stand the smell of lithium grease. That shit smells awful. That stuff is absolutely horrible. There's no words don't do justice to how much I hate the smell of lithium grease. I think I may be out of lithium grease. Let's see. Am I out of lithium grease? I have dielectric grease. What's this? Dielectric grease. Is this like lithium grease? Protects electrical components from corrosion. No, that's not lithium. That's not. That wouldn't work here. So where'd my lithium grease bucket go? So that is silicone. That's silicone. It's not grease. It's the opposite of grease. That's not it. No. No. Plasti dip. That's definitely not dielectric grease. What about this? What do we have in here? Here we go. Here's that nasty shit. Oh! It's fucking gross. Fucking gross. Oh my god, let's get a whiff of this shit. Oh! Disgusting. I'm not even inhaling, it's just kind of making its way to my fucking nose. Oh, Jesus Christ, that smells awful. Alright, I'm not going to put too much. I'm just going to allow it to make its way down. Just a little bit through here. Less is more. More is less. I'm glad that you were able to use them on your bike, use technology. I hope you use the flux in soldering the connections and not inside the bearings of the motor. Alright, and a little bit in this. Don't put the black on the nylon. Why can't I put the black grease in the nylon, Paul? Well, I wiped the grease off of the nylon, so what do I do now? Don't put the black in the nylon. Paul, I mean, you know me. I need a reason to not do something, or else I'm gonna do it. You said that okay, on the nylon shelf, I mean, not on the iPhone shelf, there'll be a white lithium grease. I see you saying not to put it there, but I'm curious why. Without a why, I'm probably gonna do it. On the iPhone part shelf, we have a tablet holder, a drill, a global industrial box, iPad screens, iPhone parts, and what do we have down here? Shit, I don't have the light on, so I can't see it. Kept the light off because I figured it would keep bums from banging on the window and doing stupid shit. Alright. I'm going to go back to the window and see why Paul doesn't want me using the black grease. I'm assuming when he says don't use the black grease that that's a typo. He actually means do use the black grease because that's the one that you have in front of you. Use the white one for the nylon. Must be a typo. I think he means use the black one because that's the one that I have. Black will destroy the nylon. You'll need to pack the grease all around the gears as well. Alright, on say. Black stuff degrades plastics. Okay, well, that's a good reason. I don't want to degrade the plastic. So now, every time I walk out of the office, this damn wire pops off. I'm going to turn the light on so that I can see if we have white grease. I can't see shit here. All right. Okay, iPhone shelf. You know what I should do is I should turn the YouTube chat on my phone so that I can see the YouTube chat while I'm not at the computer. That would be smart. Okay. This way I can bug Paul to figure out where the white grease is. Here we go. White is in the top shelf of iPhone parts. Here we go. WD-40, Superior Crystal, and white lithium grease. Bada bing, bada boom. Is Paul not a nice guy or what? What would I do without Paul? Seriously. I've learned so much about being a mechanic from Paul. I'm far away from ever being a mechanic, but I like increasing my skill set. I hired someone that was saying that Paul wasn't exactly the best of teachers, and I don't get it. I mean, if Paul can put up with me, he can put up with anybody. Because, like, I am the most difficult person to teach. I have a hard head, and I do the opposite of what you tell me unless I have a reason, and I always wind up finding the stupidest way to do everything. So everybody, can we just have a nice round of applause for Paul and the fact that he's willing to put up with me and help me learn things? Eat some beet juice. Oh, this shit is disgusting. Beet juice. Hope you and your family have a Merry Christmas. Why, thank you very much. Take this lithium grease here. Okay, I'm just going to go through this one more time. Make sure I remove all the shit. Kind of debating whether I should ultrasonic this gear or not, but I'm afraid of getting liquid in places that it's not supposed to go. Also, if you type exclamation point in Paul, you'll find his YouTube channel where you can subscribe. You never know. You know, I started my channel. It took a year and a half to get to 1,000 subscribers. Another year and a half to get to 14,000 subscribers. Another year and a half to get to 40,000 subscribers. Another year and a half to get to 14,000. Another year to make it to 100,000. Another 2 years to make it to like 400,000 to 800,000. So the journey to several million subscribers starts with just one step. GN says you'll ruin the bearing. No, I'm not gonna ruin the bearing. It'll be fine. You'll see. You'll see. All right. So we're gonna put some grease on that shit. But first thing I gotta do is let me put the black grease here. Okay, so it doesn't look like whoever programmed the Nightbot programmed it right. Fucking Paul Daniels. I swear. Can't trust him with anything these days. Okay, we're gonna find the housing. This is a pedal assist sensor there. I don't think there's anything I really need to pay attention to there. Okay, it finally worked. See, I just had a curse at Paul Daniels and now the bot works. Honestly, it seems to be a pattern, really. Anytime something goes wrong, you just curse out Paul Daniels and it'll fix it. Even if he wasn't the one that coded it. It's, all right, so the housing... Okay. This is going to go in here. Gotta make sure this is in there straight. Let's also get the black lithium grease in there evenly. Alright, that's on there evenly now. Now I have to get the lock ring on there. This is the ring. Seems like it's really easy to misalign this thing. Alright, let's get that in there. Grease the shaft. Grease the shaft. Grease it first where it fits into the housing. Okay. Is that with white grease or black grease? I imagine black grease because that's not plastic. Put the grease in the shaft surface. Yeah, I heard, but do you put the black grease or the white grease in the shaft surface? Okay, I'll assume you want black grease. Alright, let's find the black grease. Where did I put the black grease at? Bearing inspection, we did that, I think. Okay, black grease. Let's make sure it's evenly applied. Don't want to see any... Alright, that's nice and evenly applied. Paul just yelled no. Okay, so now it comes down to who do I trust more? Random YouTube comments or Paul? Random YouTube comments or Paul? Well, last time I did a live stream similar to this, the YouTube comments were giving me suggestions that actually almost blew up my device. So we are going to trust Paul. That shaft is mounted in a sealed bearing. Alright, so if Paul says no grease, then fuck you all. I'm going to do what Paul tells me. Paul is the mechanic. There is only one Apple car mechanic in this stream. Alright, so let me get rid of the fucking grease that I just put in there. Damn you YouTube chat fuckers. You bastards. Rat bastards. I remember I was doing this a while ago where if I put a chip on the wrong way and I asked the chat which way does the chip go on, I remember what I used to do is I used to actually go backwards and ban everybody that told me the wrong way intentionally. It actually worked because it would kind of get, for a while, it would get rid of all of the people who were purposely giving me bad advice so that I would blow up the MacBook that I was working on. All right, so let me get rid of the freaking grease in here. Look at all those people rewriting history right now saying they said no grease. When you scroll up and it says that they wanted grease. Yeah, they're rewriting history. Rewriting history. Okay. Oh, I'm throwing you guys under a bus like you tried to throw me under a bus. That's right. That's right. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You getting tossed right under that bus. Okay. Let's get my cock ring in there. You check the bearing movement. Check nylon gear bearings. I don't know how to check the bearings in this because I don't know how to... Yeah, I have no idea how to check the bearings in this. Earlier in the stream, what I did is I showed you the inside of this, but I don't know really how to... I don't know how to check that. I don't know what you mean when you say check. Like I looked at it. Is this good? I guess that's good. All right. So someone said wait, but yeah, you didn't tell me. I don't know. Wait doesn't really do anything, Luis. You got to tell me why to wait. I'm not just gonna stand here and stop. You fucking crazy? All right. So we're gonna do this. Put this down there. Put them on the shaft first. What's them? What's them? Come on, you can use a pronoun here. What do you mean by them? Put them on the shaft first. What's them? Who's them? Paul? Put Paul on the shaft? Put Q's Tech Service in the shaft? Put you on the shaft? I don't know what you mean. I'm sorry. Alright, so let's get the lock ring on here. Put grease in the shaft? Okay. So that goes in there. Shove your finger in it. So I shoved my finger in it, but I still don't get what I'm doing. Nylon on shaft. Inside nylon gear bearing could use some grease. So you mean put grease in this thing? So like I was going to put grease here. Are you saying to put grease over here as well? So grease goes here? Grease goes here. Grease goes here or grease goes here? Grease goes inside or grease goes outside? Put the nylon gear on the shaft and spin it both ways. Yeah, but I don't know if you don't... Let's see. Put the nylon gear in the shaft. Okay, this is the shaft, because people usually, when they say shaft, that's a euphemism for penis, and that's the thing that looks like a penis here. So put the gear in the shaft. Okay, the gear is in the shaft. I gotta, I guess, push it down all the way. It doesn't actually push down all the way. Maybe I put it on the wrong way. Maybe you go on this way. Do you go on this way? Okay. So the gear is there. Now what? Inside and outside. Okay, so I have to put that on the inside. Lots outside and small. Okay, small inside. Lots outside. Okay, let's see. I'm going to try and... Okay, now people are saying no. I'm getting both yes and no. Fuck, this is hard. All right, I got to figure out which ones to trust. The people saying yes or the ones saying no. Put grease in the nylon inside the nylon bearing. Okay, inside and a little on the outside. But someone else just said put a lot on the outside and a little on the inside. Okay, so also is it white grease going in here or black grease? So white lithium grease goes in here or black lithium grease goes in here? Hold the shaft and turn the nylon. We're past that part now. We did that. Okay, black inside, white outside. All right. Black inside, white outside. So black. So just to be clear, black grease is going inside here. Okay. Donald the spamming. Got to time him out now. Let's see. So we have all right. So what do we have? Black inside, white outside. Black grease on inside as it's metal on metal. Okay, cool. Let me get some white grease to put inside there. We got the Bafang repair by YouTube chat consensus. All right, little inside and black. All right, so a little bit of grease on the inside. I'd stick with Paul's answers. White anywhere near nylon. Okay, now Paul said no. Fuck. All right. Paul said no. Wait, we got to pause it now because... Okay, white. All right, we trust Paul, so we're going to put some white. White only. All right, white lithium grease. So a little bit of this is going to go inside of here. That looks like too much. So we're going to dry off the brush. All right, Paul says white only. We can trust Mr. Paul. And I'm going to make sure there's no globs. I want there to be grease, but no glob of grease. Read the Paul answers. Paul is right. Yes. I'm going to stick to Paul's answers for dear life here. Okay. All right. That's going to go on here. This go this way or the other way? I think it goes this way. It's midnight and Paul's off, so he's not. I'm not gonna have him call me. If he's watching, he's watching. If he's not watching, he's not. All right, let's see what we got. So nylon gear is now pushed in there. There we go. We got a nylon gear. Now the nylon gear. Actually, fuck! I never put the damn grease in the nylon gear before I put it in. Son of a suka blet pizdец. This is not a bike motor that caught fire. This never caught fire. Okay, here we go. Oh. Alright, so they should make universal Bafang grease. Ha. Alright, so we're gonna put some grease here. With the right amount of grease. The right amount of grease. Only the right amount of grease. Not too much, not too little. Proper amount. Didn't you need white on outside of the gear? Indeed. A little bit of... Yes, beautiful. Look at that. And... Whoops, wrong way. Goes this way. Ew, my hands. So Paul gets promoted to VP of car repair. I mean, he already earned that title. Paul's got until 2024 to find a new job if he doesn't want to be a mechanic. Because come 2024, we're opening a garage. We're going to open the best garage you've ever seen. And all right. I should stop saying that. That's kind of mean. Paul's done such a good job all these years. Why should he have to deal with shitty Apple cars? It's horrible. No one deserves that as their fate. Alright, so we got this little piece back in place. That's a little spinny thingy. Alright, so we have spinny thingy on top of spinny thingy. And next up, it's going to be the plate. Okay, we're going to put this plate on there. It goes this way. I'm being a dumbass. Okay. Next up, screwdriver. Okay, when I screw these in, one thing I try to do is I try to screw a little bit to the left before screwing to the right, just so you know you're in the gear. So you do this, you hear a click, and then once you hear the click, you can start screwing again. Alright, and then the next one. Piece of shit, not a magnetic screwdriver. The lock ring is on. Okay, do this. Now tighten it. Now that all the screws are in, I'll know that I'm aligning. It's going to be aligned properly, so now I feel comfortable tightening it. No need to tighten it to the point that they tightened it at the factory. That's fucking ridiculous. Alright. Especially since I'm probably going to open this again the next time I break it. Alright, so we got some grease in there. I got this shitty gasket that clearly doesn't keep water out. Okay. Now you got a motor core that's going to go onto that. That's this. By the way, for all of you who are saying that, but especially Kopaz, fucking Kopaz, he's messaging me, telling me that I'm putting too much power through the motor and that's why it dies. These coils, I just want to look at the coloring of these coils. Look at that. Those coils are bright red, you fucking schmuck. Look at that. Seriously. Look at the I'm going to zoom in on them once I clean the desk off a little bit. But those are some beautiful coils. Because I have some motors, and I've probably shown pictures of them in old streams, where they're dark red or they're black, and you know it looks like the lung of a smoker for 40 years. But this over here is genuinely a beautiful shade of red. Look at these coils. Hey, I'm not messing with you with the white balance or anything like that. But look at those coils. Look at that. Look at that shiny red. These coils have not been overheated at all. And this motor has had 4,000 watts put through it. I have put 4,000 watts through this motor, but the key is to not be a moron with it. So if you're putting 4,000 watts through, you don't want to have the motor not be free moving. You don't want to you don't want to be on the top gear of the bike and start from a straight start with all your power. You start out at a low gear and then you go up to a higher gear, and then once you're in the higher gear, then you pump your shit through. But there's a way to pump the shit through, and you know when you're fucking the motor and when you're not. This is the part of the fun of riding one of these. So again, this is a 1,000 watt motor. This is a 1,000 watt motor here. Let me see if I have the It says, where does it say that it's on? This housing or the other one? Probably the other piece. This is a 1,000 watt motor, and I have put 4,000 watts through it, and this motor core looks beautiful. Oh, look at this. These windings over here look factory, and that's also a sine wave controller. So the sine wave controller has a lot to do with it. It's much better than the shitty garbage normal controllers. I mean the square wave controlling trash, rubbish, garbage. It's pretty nice. But yeah, this little thing over here, this thing can take 4,000 watts. It really does. And it takes it like a champ. Now this is where the large gear is. So it turns a tiny gear to turn the large gear. It's amazing to me how small all this stuff is, but also there's a lot of points of failure here. Because you have all these different gears, and the problem is all these different gears are hidden. One thing you notice here is all these gears are hidden, and you have to really rip all this shit off of the bike in order to service them, which is a pain in the ass for the Bafang. The Bafang, when it comes to serviceability, you have to rip everything up. You have to rip the thing off of the bike in order to get to this part, which is a bit of a pain. All right, so this goes through here. This is going to go like this. But yeah, I have with the other bike where I have, I think, 6 batteries on it. And I have 5 batteries on the other bike, not 6. My mistake. You could see when I was actually putting 3,000 or 4,000 watts into the motor, even though it was a cool day outside, the temperature was going up very rapidly, so you don't get much time doing that. Like, you could see when I had the temperature sensor on it, it was going, like, when I was going at, when I was going at, let's say, 25 to 29 miles an hour, the bike was, the motor was at a nice steady 30, 33, 35 Celsius, and it just stayed there, even with all the wind chill and everything. And then once I started going 30 to 35 miles an hour, that's where you could see the bike was going, you could see at that point, it was in 35 Celsius, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. And then I'm like, okay, let me try 36 miles an hour. And it goes 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. And it went all the way up to 50, like 54. And I said, okay, let me back off now. So I took off the motor, no power going through it at all. I started pedaling, and it was still going 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61. And I'm like, holy shit. It's been a minute since I took off the motor, and it's still going up in temperature like crazy. Wow. Alright, so you gotta smash this shit together. This is really actually very annoying because it doesn't like to fit on there properly. This is actually really fucking annoying to get on. Yeah, line. Okay, here we go. Oh, you piece of shit. You're gonna push it on one way and then it comes out the other way. It's so fucking aggravating. But you piece of shit. You piece of fucking... I'm gonna do it on the floor. Thermal lag, yes. Big thermal lag. And obviously, if you stop, it'll go up faster. I didn't dare stop. I kept pedaling, and I did this around a hill, so at least I could keep going for a while. Because if I stop pedaling and I stop going, that's the motor's temperature going up while I'm 35 miles an hour. If I were to immediately stop and the wind chill to go away, probably would have went up to 80 or 90 Celsius. Make sure the rubber gasket is lined up. That piece of shit rubber gasket seems fine. Okay. There we go. That is lined up on every side. That gasket is not as liquid resistant as I imagined it would be. Okay. Screw that shit back together. Oh my god, the questions that are showing up there. Google. Google! Google! Thoughts on Andrew Yang running for New York City mayor? I mean, you can't, like, it's hard to do worse than de Blasio. It really is. Thing I feel bad about is he's going to get a bad rap if he gets the job. Hey, this is something I actually commented on a Kyle Kalinske video recently. He was talking about politicians that talk about what they were given and how that they didn't do enough to change it and stuff. And a big problem is that New York City was long fucked before he showed up. So once the city is fucked, there's really a limit to what you can do to fix it, you know? There's things you can do to prevent a problem from getting out of hand, and then here's how to put this. You could be the, how do I put this? All right, here we go. So you could be the person that is speaking to someone at 30 years old when they start smoking and stop going to the gym and try to get them on a different path. Or you could be the person that tries to help them after they've already needed triple bypass when they're 75, after 45 years of eating like shit, smoking, and never exercising, you know? And I would much rather be the doctor that is having that heart-to-heart with the 30-year-old that's starting to go down the wrong path, then I would want to be the surgeon that gets blamed when you can't save the patient after 40 years of destroying their body. And there's really not a lot that I think you can do when you have the budget deficits that we have, when you have the debt that we have, when you have the clusterfuck that we have, when you have the pensions that we have. My God, I mean, a big part of it is just that alone. If there was a politician that had the balls to tell everybody with these city pensions, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. This was not funded properly. The prior administration screwed you over. This was not something that's ever sustainable. We cannot fuck over the next set of generations and destroy their opportunities as a result of this. We're just, can't do it. That person would probably get murdered, but that would be that would be one way to fix it. It's one way to fix it, but. What does BBSHD stand for? I don't know. You're going to have to ask Bafang. You would have to ask them. I have no fucking clue. I don't really know what Andrew Yang would do as mayor. Don't get me wrong. Not being de Blasio is an excellent first step. And it's an important first step that must be taken. Not being de Blasio is key. But after not being de Blasio, where do you go from there? What do you do after not being de Blasio? Andrew Yang as a mayor 40 years ago, if there was an Andrew Yang 40 years ago, maybe kind of, sort of. But at this late stage in the game, like, what the fuck are you doing, You can't really save the limb anymore. You're going to have to amputate. He's going to have to amputate. I don't know what the fuck he's going to do. I do see that chat behold the chair, but I don't really know what to say. Don't really know what to say. Dem coils dough, smell them. Need more heatsink. I just don't know. Okay, now the same thing I did there, I think I should do here. This one looks like it has black lithium grease on it, and what I'd like to do is make sure there's no little pieces of rocks anywhere in there, because I saw rocks in there, and this little thing spins this big thing, so there's probably a rock or two in here. This is the outermost piece. So I'm going to clean this out. Put a new QC sticker on. You know, I should put a sheep sticker there. That would be a cool thing to do. I put a sheep sticker on there. How about that? Yeah, I don't really want to invest in the future of New York at the moment. I'm not particularly excited about the future of New York as New York City, or where it's going to be going, or actually, this is filled with grease. I'm going to waste so many Q-tips on this. Yeah, I should use a paper towel to wipe off the Q-tip so I don't waste all these Q-tips. I'm not going to use one Q-tip per shaft. That's crazy. Do this. It's not like I'm cleaning jewelry for sale in a store window. I just want to make sure that throughout this whole gear, and it's a big one, that there's no rock-looking stuff in it. Bearings in good shape. I don't know. They look like they're in decent shape. I just want to make sure there's not a rock stuck in any one of these, or a piece of plastic, or a piece of metal. It looks like there's nothing in here, but this had to be something in here because there was something in the thing that spins this. Use a toothbrush. I don't think I have a toothbrush here. Yeah, no toothbrush on the desk, so I'm going to use the Q-tip, which is what I do have on the desk. So much of this really comes down to what do I have in front of me on my desk. Yeah, making do with what's here. Grab brake cleaner. It is 12:52 a.m. in Manhattan. I'm going to use what's on my desk. Just grab this at 12:52 a.m. I'm like, fuck that. I got what I need right here. Come to Wisconsin, the new Silicon Valley. Do you really believe that Wisconsin is the new Silicon Valley? I'm honestly looking at Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The ability to afford a house right on the beach in a fairly low crime area. Low crime, low taxes, low property taxes, decent houses. State that is, Florida as a state is considerably more fiscally sound, so I don't have to worry about them raising taxes on businesses, people, or everything else. So it doesn't really matter if the taxes in Florida are... the property tax being low matters, because that's a big one, but at least for planning for old age, because then you don't. It's a very regressive tax to charge people a certain amount of money each year, even if they don't have an income anymore. But the thing that I like about Florida, decent weather, fiscally responsible state. I don't know. When I visited Fort Lauderdale, it didn't seem like it was filled with the type of people who would stage a walkout of Penguin Publishing because they published a Jordan Peterson book, but it also doesn't seem like the type of place where everybody is going to have Stop the Steal rallies and be screaming about how they should stop counting votes because counting votes is bad. Like it doesn't. When I visited Fort Lauderdale, it seemed to be missing the crazies, and I want to go someplace where like this. How do I put this? I don't want to deal with ideologically possessed people on either side of the political spectrum. Like I'm done with it. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to be around people who are owned by ideas. Seems to be a buildup of grease in here. Is there any particular reason for there to be a buildup of grease? Like, so, see in this area or in this concave X section over here, is there a reason that there is grease buildup in there? Should there not be there? Florida just passed $15 an hour minimum wage, so everything will go up eventually. I don't see how $15 minimum wage is going to increase property tax. Honestly, like, everybody's losing their mind over $15 an hour minimum wage, and even liberals were saying, "Oh, that's so great that they." No, it's not. It's not an accomplishment. It really isn't. So, firstly, the fight for 15, that whole thing, and to be clear, I'm not someone who's an advocate of higher minimum wages. I'm an advocate of giving people the opportunity when they have no skills to offer their services at a price where people want to buy them, and for employers, once you have employees that have good skills, to stop fucking paying them pennies, and do the right thing. But at the same time, the thing about the fight for $15 an hour minimum wage that gets me is that started like 5 or 7 years ago, right? It's 2020 and it just got passed, but it doesn't actually go into effect for like 3 or 4 years. So it's not going to be until 2024 or 2025 that $15 an hour is the actual minimum wage in Florida. And by 2025, $15 an hour, after printing as $5-7 trillion just this year alone, is not going to be worth anything. So you started the fight for $15 an hour in 2014 or 2015. That was when I first started seeing this shit make headlines, like 2015 or so. And it's not going to be until 10 years later that you get the $15 an hour. By the time you get $15 an hour, $15 an hour is going to be worth what $10 was worth when you started the fight. It's sad, it really is, but it's fucking ridiculous. It's crazy, but yeah. See you later, Melissa Stormchaser 8472. Can't believe I just read the entire name. All right, let's just get rid of all this excess grease here. Okay, I'm just going to give it one more spin. Minimum wage is not much of a concern for me because I don't really... it would only be a concern when it comes to interns and teaching people. And I don't take interns, so I don't care. Even if minimum wage goes to $15 an hour, I pay more than that right now. So if I move to Florida, the pay that I offer right now to people in New York would probably seem amazing in Florida because Florida has a much more affordable cost of living. Does this ever feel like Metroidvania dystopian-ish to you? Not to go full Alex Jones, but here in Virginia we have state-enforced curfews. What's next? I don't really understand the curfews. I understand the curfews if there's rioting and looting. I don't understand the curfew if you're coronavirus. I really don't. I don't fucking get that one bit. Like, COVID is going to fuck you up as bad at night as it is in the day, you know? Also, I'm kind of surprised that Virginia wound up getting curfews, because don't you guys have guns and everything? Like, that's the thing. In New York, the government doesn't necessarily have to fear people the same way that they do where you live. Because where you live, like, everybody has a gun. So if the government does something stupid, you just, I don't know, just make a new one, you know? God bless America and all that stuff. But I don't really know how you get away with that shit. I still don't understand the symptoms Moto is having. I explained that in the very beginning of the video. And the thing about live streaming is, since new people are going to come into the video throughout the live stream, they're all going to ask the same question over and over again. So I have two choices. Behind door number 1, I can suggest that people listen to the beginning of the video. Behind door number 2, I can answer the question every 20 seconds and then lose my sanity and go home and down a bottle of venlafaxine. And I'd rather go with number 1. So, yeah. Nothing like answering the same question over and over again for over 600 people to make you lose your mind. Tech pay is up everywhere. We'll see. Listen, a lot of stuff is going to go up. We printed over $5 trillion. You know, this is not about minimum wage making shit go up. This is a lot of pay in a lot of fields is going to go up. That's too much work, Plasmar. Nobody reads the description anyway. I don't want to really set up an FAQ page. It's midnight and I'm working on my motor. You must have me mistaken for a proper streamer. You're mistaking me with a proper streamer. This would be easier if I had a brush to do this, but the brush that I have is white lithium, and I don't want to mix it with the black lithium. Yeah, personally, I know New York is going to have to get more expensive because they're going to have to increase taxes since because of all the money that got spent this year. I'm not willing to pay more to live here. I'm really not. There's so much garbage that goes into living here, and it's gotten to be worth less and less because there's a smaller customer base here. So really the only selling point of New York, since the customer base is not here, the selling point of the city would be that my employees are here. And they're good people. They're great people. But like at some point, if the quality of life here goes down and the prices of everything go up, which they will, like at some point it's just going to become time to like go to my best employees, say, here's a place that would be way cheaper to live, where you could have a much nicer house, a much nicer apartment, and maybe a much nicer life. Would you like to take this check for, X amount of dollars to relocate with me to a superior place? I got to figure out how to structure that. Most people probably wouldn't go. That's one of the reasons that I'm still here. Because I'm pretty certain that most of the people here would not elect to go. If you have your family members here, and your spouse is here, and your spouse has a job, and that job is here, it's not even just that, but then it's like, am I going to move to another state just because, I get a better job? I mean, I get a job, to keep the exact same job that I already have. That's a tough sell. That's a tough sell. I don't know what the fuck the next year or two holds in store for me. I really don't. I've thought about that, though. The whole idea of, like, here's a check for the aggravation of relocation. Come with me. Take the best people here. Live on the beach. Fix stuff on the beach. That could be kind of fun. New brushes in the lifeboat cabinet on the door. God bless you, Paul. See that? It's fucking 1 in the morning. 1 in the morning, and a guy who works here is telling me how to fix my motor. You're not going to find that in Florida. You may find lower property tax in Florida. You may find nicer houses in Florida. You may find topless women on the beach in Florida. But you know what you don't have in Florida? Paul S. And if I had to choose between the topless women on the beach in Florida, 0.8% property tax, and beautiful homes for cheap, low cost of living, less traffic, and a happier environment, or people like Paul S., I'd take people like Paul S. any day. In a heartbeat. Okay, here we go. Is this a brush? You're a fine tip snipper. You're a fume extractor thingamajiggy. You're a monitor stand. You know what I should do? I should turn on the light. That would be if I had half a brain, I would turn on the light. That's a smart thing to do. Let me get my phone. Use my flashlight. Tell us more about the women thing on the beach there. There is no superior place, just different with a different set of problems. No, there's superior. There's always superior. No, there's superior. Syria in the middle of civil war versus, let's say, Riverdale in the Bronx in the year 2010. I mean, there's always a shittier place. There are lots of... I would rather be in Riverdale in the Bronx than Libya in 2011. I would... Here we go, brushes. Thank you, Paul. I just found them. We have a bunch of brushes. Yeah, this is awesome. Okay, here we go. Beautiful. I would move to NYC for Paul S. in a heartbeat. Fuck you, Psycho Cup. He's mine! Florida gets a bad rap because of the crazy headlines, but that's because Florida has arrest records to the public, to the press. Unlike most states, they dig through the crazy stuff. I haven't read a lot of the crazy headlines in Florida. I mean, I've heard of the Florida Man meme, but I haven't really actually examined much of the Florida Man meme. Move to the Cayman Islands so you could hide your millions in YouTube money. That is a good idea. I've already managed to hide most of my millions in YouTube money. It's so well hidden I can't even find it. By the way, everybody, say hello to Mr. Dr. Evil Genius in the Twitch chat. It's kind of funny because I had a talk with him on the phone the other day where I said, like, I'm done spending work until 1 in the morning. I'm just done with that phase of my life for a little bit. And literally the first stream that he pops in on, it's 1:06 in the morning. He actually is in the chat at 1:02 in the morning and he sees me doing this. However, this is not work. This is not work. I did my work for the day, which is miserable end-of-year monotonous bullshit bookkeeping. And then I took a nice long nap. And then after my nap, I came here. So this is not evening. This is technically my afternoon or something. I had a nice, fulfilling nap. Had a nice set of sleep. I slept for a good 10 hours. And then I worked. Then I took a nap after sleeping for 10 hours. That's some good stuff right there. Some nice rest. I enjoyed my rest. Lots of stupidity in Florida. Yeah, but there's lots of stupidity here too. It's just it's cheaper stupidity there. Virginia is all DC people. I live in Washington and I miss Florida, if that says anything. I'm guessing you miss the weather, because Florida is freezing. Yeah, I went to Tumwater, Washington in January. I don't envy the weather. My God. I was complaining about the cold in New York, and then I went there. That's a different type of cold. Because New York has the type of cold where you go outside and you're like, brr. Tumwater, Washington has that type of cold where you go outside and you just kind of want to go into a ball on the sidewalk so that you can preserve energy. You can preserve body heat until the ambulance comes. It's freezing. My blood is too thick for eternal summer. Yeah, I like the cold. So Florida, that's one area where Florida would be horrible, because I like cold weather. The beach can disappear in a single storm, though. I'm sure there won't be that many storms. It'll be great. Florida is not known for its storms or hurricanes at all. I was in Disney World when I was a kid when they had one of those crazy hurricanes. That was something. Paul says he needs skiing. Paul, with the amount of money that I would save running a business in Florida, I could spend money to send you to Vermont every year. Actually, how about that? Paul, if I included an all expenses paid vacation to Vermont every single year, and I mean all expenses paid vacation in Vermont, like 5-star hotel, ski lounge, and everything, and added an additional week of paid vacation, would you follow me to Fort Lauderdale? Let's see. See, this is how this works. This is how what we do is we sweeten the pot. We sweeten the pot. Okay, so this thing looks pretty clean now. Now the next question I have for you guys, is there anything I should do to this area with that with the yellow shit? One sec, you can't see it because it's in autofocus. I need to manual focus it. There we go. Here we go. So yeah, like right here. Is that this is in good condition? I don't have to like, oh crap. Oh, that actually moves. Fuck. Wow. What the hell? Okay, that immediately moved up. That's crazy. Huh. Seems in decent condition. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to consider this somewhat completed. That is, I believe, lithium grease. I have, I know about Jacksonville. I have an employee, not employee, I have a contractor. Paul says I'm getting closer, but he still doesn't like it down there. More grease in the ball bearing. Okay, so on the ball bearing is this thing, right? This thing? On this piece? Because I'm assuming that's the ball bearing because it has balls in it. And also, what color grease, if possible? I use that site already, Joseph. I just don't, yeah. I just don't stream there because I don't know how to stream there. All right, cool. So white grease. Is that white grease or black grease over there, Paul? So we got the... I don't know. I can't believe he's staying up to watch this. It's crazy. All right. So I'm guessing the grease goes on the balls or something like that. Let's see. So you're thinking of Loctite, Vas Papa. Probably Maximilian, but that will require configuration and stuff, and it's 1 in the morning. Screw that. Okay. Push it into the balls. That sounds a little, okay. Smush the grease in with force. I don't know, Joannon. Okay, let's get my motor core. Where I put that motor core? Motor core goes here. I was turning the cotton swab like this, and not instead of going like back and forth. So since this way, the little pieces of cotton wind up surrounding themselves around the swab instead of instead of coming off of the swab. Yeah. Didn't clean the race. I think I cleaned the race. The bearing gets to cope. Copium? Copium. Don't get high on copium. Alright, so this is gonna... The main issue now is that this thing doesn't want to close. I mean, going all the way. It's got some copium here. What is keeping you from going all the way through? Do I just have to hammer you or something? Ah, there we go. Just have to push it harder. All right. Copium. No, this is a spare motor, Voss. No, Joseph, this is the spare motor. Torque specs for the bolts in the outside. I tighten them until they're really tight. If you have to force it, you are doing it wrong. Spoken like someone who's never tried to fit the rotor into the stator on this thing. Paul Daniels is here. No Loctite. I'm just going to tighten them a lot. I put them all in kind of loosely so that it's aligned. I don't want to put one of them in really tight and then the rest in and then it's not aligned. So I put all the bolts in and then I'll tighten them once they're all in there. Tighten them until they get loose. You go to hell. I remember you... Fuck, Slab is spamming me. Spam. Spam! All that no cap, all cap spam. Turn it until it breaks and then back off 1/4 return. Oh, Slab is crying. Those are so fucking annoying when people start spamming in all caps and they don't say why they're spamming in all caps. It's so fucking annoying. Look at him. He's spamming and raging in all caps, but he's incapable of communicating why. Use your words. Communicate. Alright. I know, you wanted me to do this one and that one and this one and that one and this one and that one. But it doesn't shift around at all. Like, once it's in there, and there's really no room for it to shift to here or there or anything like that. It's fine. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. You're going nuts over something that doesn't really matter. This thing is made of Chinesium anyway. All right. Fine, just to make you happy. Just to make you happy, we'll do a star pattern. It's not going to make any difference here, though. Because there's not enough play. There's not enough space or play. On the chain ring that goes onto here, there's enough play that you need to do a star pattern. See, like there's no fucking play here. There's no movement whatsoever. Allow for heat expansion. There's not going to be any heat expansion. We're only using it to 4 times its rated carrying capacity. Because of chat, James Fox. Because of chat. To make chat happy. Oh. I'm sure your mother thinks that you're very special, Skymining. I bet that she thinks of that every day as she puts a gold star on her calendar to mark yet another day that her son is special. I'm using a phase runner, Floyd Arn. Before that I used an AIC BAC 855, which is pretty much the exact same thing. It's pretty much the exact same thing. Except it's from... The ASI is from the company directly. The phase runner is a third party. But I go through the phase runner just because I can't stand ASI. Okay. So here's the thing. I kind of want to go home. So I'm not going to test this until tomorrow because I don't have a desk controller. So since I don't have a desk controller, I can't actually try this on the desk. I have to attach it to a bike. So I don't have a spare controller. So I can't test if this works without taking it off of a bike. I don't really feel like doing that right now. So I'm going to leave this in complete suspense. You're not going to know if this works until tomorrow. Or maybe the day after tomorrow. Or maybe after Christmas. Yeah, so all of this that you watched, you will not get to know if this works. That's how we do here. You don't get to see if there's fan spin. I don't know what the D has to do with 1000, actually. Yeah, look at this. It's beautiful. Okay, it's a pretty, pretty motor. What would it take to get a desk controller? I'd have to get a phase runner, another phase runner, which is after I get the other phase runner, I have the wire. Yeah, I'd really just need a phase runner and the wire. Actually, I already have the wire. I just said I have the wire. Why did I just say that? We just have to have a phase runner. I'm not going to buy another phase runner just for the desk. That's fucking crazy. I used to have a spare controller, but when one of my Sabvaton died, I put my spare controller on that bike and I never replaced it. Either way, I don't feel like it's fucking late as hell, so I'm gonna get the fuck out of here and go home. But yeah, I wanted to do this in a day where there wasn't really a bunch of other stuff to do. I've been putting this off for months because I don't know how to open this thing. So I've been putting this off for a while. So this is my good faith effort to remake this thing. And if it works, what I'll do is I will caulk this up. So I will caulk this all up so that it is nice and caulked. And I will also probably put a little bit of caulk all the way around this. I will put a little bit of caulking all the way around this. I don't trust these gaskets. These things suck. I don't know how good those gaskets are, but I know that the gasket they include here is absolute fucking shit. Because I had one of these where I never opened it. I never took this off. I was using the stock controller. I had a problem. I opened it up and there's water in here. So I don't trust their gaskets. I don't think that their gaskets are much good. So I'm probably gonna wind up just doing a bit of a bit of work around there. I really should clean my desk off as well. And then I'm going to have to do this to another motor, because remember, this is my spare. This is the spare motor that I have. The motor that, because I have another one that's doing this, so I figured I would fix my spare. Now I fix my spare, which means I'm going to have to do this to the one that's actually on the bicycle. That bike is also missing. One of the switches broke on it. Yes, one of the switches broke on it. And I have to bleed rear brake. That can happen another time, though. This is the part that I figured was going to be the biggest pain in the ass. So I figured I would do this at a nice little dead time. It's been nice looking at your caulk. Why, thank you. Thank you. I always like streaming my caulk. It makes me happy inside. Okay, we're going to put my lithium grease away. Stuff smells so disgusting. I can't stand the smell of lithium grease. It's horrible. I'm kind of excited to see if this works. The thing is, I don't know if it's gonna, because I opened up every single moving part of the motor. I've examined every moving part of the motor, and I barely found anything wrong with it. So if there is something wrong there, I'm gonna assume that the thing that's wrong, actually, I'm not gonna really even know what the thing that's wrong is, and honestly, at that point, because pretty much I looked at that and I checked out almost every single thing. The clips are back on, less 3D. If this doesn't work, then I don't know what the fuck to do with it. If this works, I'll continue to have faith in some of these Bafang motors. If not, then if this doesn't fix it, this may be my last Bafang, because this has happened to a couple of them. And the thing that bothers me is that you can't really see what the issue is. So I saw that there were those very, very, very little minor pieces in there, but I'm not convinced that that would cause a problem. That seemed too small to actually cause the issue that I was having. So it's one thing if it breaks in a way that is where you could see the damage, but it's another if it breaks in this way where even when you examine every single moving part, everything looks fine. That would be really aggravating. That would be a PM Sleep S4L of motors. And I do hope that this is not going to be the PM Sleep S4L of motors, but we'll see. We'll see. So it's about that. It's about that. Put my screwdrivers back and get out of here. One of the ones in this price range, Vas Papa, is the Cyclone. It's fast. It can take more power. However, it's louder, and it's also much more difficult to install because the instructions are horseshit. Yeah, the instructions for that are horseshit. And it's not as straightforward as this is because a lot of the pieces are outside of it. So it kind of scared me off because it looked like it was more difficult to figure out how to install. However, given the the fact that it has more power handling and all of the gears are outside where you can see them, it seems like it seems like something that may be more durable for the long run. So it's something that I'll be checking out probably. Cyclone motor. This is the Cyclone takes high power a bit better, and the thing is the Cyclone is actually cheaper than the BBSHD. So that's the thing. It's actually cheaper than the BBSHD. It's just considerably more difficult to put together. And you could see that when it comes to mechanics, I'm already pretty much a complete moron. So anything that is difficult is going to make me look like an even bigger moron. And, well, there's just no reason for that. Don't need to make myself look any stupider than I already am. All right. Oh, skimming. You have no idea. So that, you remember the piece that looks like a penis that does the spinning, the inside the motor core? That thing breaks before the nylon gear breaks. I shit you not. So they said they make a nylon gear because the nylon gear is supposed to be the weak point. That's why they don't have a brass gear. And that nylon gear breaks every now and then. The metal piece, the pinion that's sticking out that rotates, the rotor, the metal rotor breaks before the nylon gear. So usually, I will go through 3 rotors before I go through 1 nylon gear. Yeah, that thing's a piece of shit. They made it better, and California e-bike has a cool blog on it. I like California e-bike for having these types of blogs and informative posts. They don't pay me to say this at all or anything, by the way, just to be clear. Set the record straight there. But they had an informative post on this because apparently if you buy a rotor from a different year, it won't fit your BBSHD because they changed it entirely. So if you drove yourself nuts trying to push it on there and it doesn't fit, but it seems like you just need to push it just a little bit harder to make it fit, you're trying to put the wrong rotor from the wrong year on your BBSHD. I'm just going to put the lithium grease back here on the shelf where it belongs. I put the drill back where it belongs and the drill bag back where it belongs. Paul deserves his tools to be put back where they belong. And that being said, walk in the office, end this, and be done with it. This is kind of fun. It's one of these things on my list of things that I've wanted to do for a while. Take the whole thing apart, soup to nuts, see what it looks like. And I did. Now I know what it looks like on the inside. Yay. It's kind of cool. Okay, back in the office. All right, I will see you all later. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I hope you learned something. Why do people make suggestions to your issues that make no sense? I like how Paul Daniels has like a similar brand of cynicism. And there's going to be more cynicism the more that you get more subscribers that do and say more things, Paul. But anyway, I'll see you all later.